we were talking about how developing this technique results in a change in the sound of your instrument. So that you'll notice, for instance, that the drums will start to sound different. The cymbals will sound different because the attack is different. And you mentioned, well, I think that's, what did you say?
Well, I said I think it's attributed to the fact that, you know, according to the precepts of this technique, that it's the bottom of the bead that's coming into contact with the playing surface, the flat part of the bead. And I think that the sound that emanates from the drums is a result of that contact.
I think that's not necessary, but not sufficient. I see your response. Because yes, that will have something to do with it, but I think really what you're saying is this is the instrument.
Right.
Right to the butt end, right? And this thing starts to resonate. So it's not choked, but you hear the difference. Choke it, and you're going to affect your sound. It'll affect the way it feels. It'll feel in your hand, right? It'll affect the way your body feels. And also, your feet will start to sound different, right? You'll start to get a better sound and a more accurate timing of attack with bass drum and hi-hat, or two bass drums, right? Remember Louis Bellson? There was another famous drummer sometime before Louis that doesn't really get properly attributed, but Louis Bellson was kind of known for bringing the double bass drum into the mainstream. And I think wasn't it Buddy Rich who, when he first saw Louis with his double bass drum, said, "What are you, pregnant?"
Yeah, that's right. He saw the big floor tom, and that huge floor tom interpolated between the two bass drums.
Yeah. So anyway, so I think that's what's happening, right? We're not choking the instrument. So you were reading Mitch Peters' intermediate, I believe, numbers, Roman numeral 6.
Yes.
You want to just pull that out? What did you get that up to?
I can play that. I've been practicing that at 80 beats per minute.
Why don't you put on the metronome? Because there's more to this than just reading through it. Of course, that's important as well, but I want to get to some other things while we have the time. So what about skipping every other system? So there's the first system, third system, fifth system, and the seventh system.
Are you playing it that way? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, unlike Nard, Mitch Peters is, many of these pieces are actually music, whereas Nard is just a bunch of strokes combined.
Yeah.
Not that you can't start to make them swing and be musical, but now this is a piece that just really has a lot to do with it. Really is. This is just roll strokes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Go ahead and play it with the metronome on.
Yeah. 1, 2.
So you've worked on it. Let's see. Now, if you were to slow it down,
Okay.
so we could really focus on the little pieces. Because although it was good and it was fast, that's all it is, right? So let's slow it down. Let's put the metronome on at, let's see. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So it's a 7-stroke roll. Okay, let's play it there for me. Let's take a look at it. 60.
And you want me to skip every other system again?
But right now, I just want you to really play the first line, right? I mean,
Okay.
It's just a series of roll strokes with accents that are just moved around slightly.
I'll play the first. I'll loop the first four bars in the first system.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so now what's happening is now you're Joe. Okay, so now you're not stopping up in the air when you play a right accent, because as the speed came up, it started. You were stopping up somehow. You weren't really coming to the floor. It was to stop here. Okay, and as we slowed it down, that came back into focus. So it's not bad. Good. I'm glad you're working on this stuff.
I am.
Yeah, and I can hear it.
Trying my best, man, to get this together.
Let's find another one for you to play. The roll strokes. Well, this one has a bunch of singles and some dynamics, which will challenge you in another way. How about exercise number 1? I have it on page 13.
Oh, okay, yeah, because we got the Roman numeral. Yeah, page 13.
Piece number 1.
Yeah.
Not really an exercise, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
See that? So why don't you work on that for the next one?
Okay.
Okay.
With dynamics and okay.
We may have to launch into working on yours. We'll see. And we're going to find out about what's really going on with your doubles, because what happens is we can get the doubles up to, well, often guys can either play doubles only really loud or pretty loud. And to really get that stick to rebound at slower tempos, as we've discussed, can be more challenging, right? And really, remember slow, what was it? Slow rebounds help develop fulcrum. Okay, so we'll find out just to what extent you're really feeling this as we go along. Now, let's move in chronological order. We were working on the compound stroke, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just take a look at that. I think I got you up to 60.
Well, I've got, let me see something here. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so let's listen to that.
I've been working on it a lot. Trying to get the appoggiatures to rebound more openly.
Right, that's what we discussed.
Rather than crushing it and smudging it like it was.
And turning it into 3 notes.
Yes, exactly.
Only 2 notes.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Go ahead and put it up to 80.
Okay.
How it's looking. Kind of a bit of a big jump, right? We're not going up incrementally. Let's just see what's going on.
Well, yeah. You know what's interesting, Kevin, is that I could feel where the grace notes or the appoggiatures kind of felt smudged or crushed. And then when I was practicing, I hit that aha moment. I had a light bulb moment where it started to open up, and I think that's the way it's supposed to feel. And I want to try and recapture that feeling.
That indicates that you're also listening to yourself.
Yes.
Right. Up to 100. Let's see, what am I there?
100, okay. Bit of a stretch.
The other way for me.
Other way?
The other way.
Okay. It's a bit of a stretch. I'll have to work my way up to it.
Okay. Okay, so it's coming along.
It is.
It's gotten better.
Yeah.
Right? Good. And let's take a look at the tap Ruff.
Yeah.
Now I combine that with the Murray Spivack up and down stroke exercise, right?
Yeah.
The so the Flam tap, excuse me, the tap Ruff. Then we went to this. Okay. So where'd you get this up to? So we took this up like to 120.
Yeah, I got it up to 90. My goal was to get it up to 120.
That's cool. That's it. If it starts to fail, isn't that what Murray always talked about? You stop and slow the metric. It's hard to do because we want to get faster. We want to get this thing, but the maturity, by being patient and slowing it down is the way to go. So that's really good. So 90. Let's hear it at 90. Okay, so Joe, what is it that's giving you the problem in terms in terms of getting the speed up? Is it the tap Ruff, or is it the Spivack up and down in triplets?
No, I don't think it's either of them. I just think that I because what I did was I started when I hit about 80 beats per minute, I decided to go up in increments of 1. I wanted to approach it that way. I wanted to cover the full tempo spectrum from 80 till 90. I didn't want to skip any tempos. It gave me an opportunity to really get inside the exercise.
That's great. That's why we go ... 80 ... 92 ... 100. And those dots are for you to interpret.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put it up to 100. Let's see what it looks like.
I mean, I was just always wanted to feel the bottom of the beat, really.
That's good. Yeah.
Paying attention to that, really paying attention to that, trying to embody it as much as I can. I mean, that's the only way I'm going to get this technique together, is if I pay attention to all these details and perfect them. That's the discipline in this, right? So, see if I can do this.
Well, okay. So what do you think is the distinguishing factor between playing the tap Ruff and then playing the Spivack? It's really that 6/8 exercise is an up and down stroke exercise, right? So what do you think that what are you noticing as to be the difference?
I would say it's a subdivision. I mean, the top Ruff, the tap Ruff is predicated on 16th notes, and then when we move into the up and down stroke or Spivack exercise, that's at 6/8, or we can even look at that as 8th note triplets as well.
Okay, but
So,
that's not really answering the question. All of that is true.
I think the mechanics are essentially the same.
See, that's what you're missing. Remember, what we're doing, we can play these exercises with different techniques, right? And as long as we can get it out and get it up to tempo, I mean, who's to say that's wrong? You know, there are other ways to play. With regards to this technique, we're using specific motions. We're using up and downs, right? It's the Murray Spivack up and down stroke exercise. And the tap Ruff also has an accent. And typically when we see an accent, in this technique, it means we have to raise, which means if there's a note before the accent in the same hand, we're probably going to be making an upstroke. So that's what you miss. Now, you probably recognized it on some level, but if you were teaching a class, you wouldn't be able to get inside the thing to really help people understand what the distinction is. So for me, the tap Ruff is harder to play fast, right? The Spivack 6/8 up and down exercise, for me, is easier to play fast. Why? Maybe that's the case with you. Maybe that's why you peaked out, right? Because there's a place where we all peak out, right? That's why Murray and Dick Wilson would set metronome markings, and so certain things, and they would argue a little bit. We talked about that. Murray would control up to 84, and Dick would have you like maybe at 80. Other things, Dick would go faster. I think Murray thought that 152 was kind of what I heard was the top up for doubles and roll strokes, whereas Dick would have you up to like 192. So, so the human body can only do so much, and then we have to recognize how much the body can really do, and the metronome provides that kind of what we're doing is we're tracking our speed based on, you know, an electric device that is well, it's something, it's like a stable zero bias line. We could really monitor and analyze where we are in terms of speed, based on, thanks to Maisel, the inventor of the metronome. Okay, so here's the distinction. For me, in this technique, it's somewhat obvious. We have the downstroke, which is an accent in the left, and it goes up. And then we have an upstroke in the right to get to the accent in the right. So that speeds up. I'm gonna hurt my knee if I'm not careful. Now watch what happens when I go into this. Same speed. So here we have up, down. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up, down, up, down. Up, down, 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 up, down. But the Flam tap is like this. Up, down, 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 up, down. See, the up to the down is faster, isn't it? Up, down, 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 up, down. There's more time. When you're playing the 6/8 group, there's more space between the up and the down, isn't there? So if you really understand how to make a throw, how to play the single stroke, which is an up to a down, then it won't be a big problem. But you didn't really make that distinction. So what will be the difference when we're playing the tap Ruff and we have to make an up to a down quickly? What is that? Isn't that what Murray would talk about, and Dick and Richard Martinez, Jack Verga, right? And that is, I'm sure, Chad Wackerman. So that's that little flick. Remember the idea that the down is just a little flick, isn't it? Watch, it's just a little flick. Flick, flick, a flick, a flick, a flick, a flick. Now, where we're in 6, it's still a little flick, but if you don't have that concept, that understanding, the ability to go from a low place to a high place while in the process of making a tap or a rebound, then you're not really encompassing the technique in its totality. So pay attention to that. Go ahead, put the metronome on back to 90 so you can process this at a speed that's not overly demanding. Click. Can you feel the difference? Put one hand on your leg. Put one hand on your leg. Down, up, down. Say up, down. So we're going to start with the tap ruff. Okay, and say up, down.
Up, down. Up, down.
You playing the tap ruff?
Yeah, I was playing the tap ruff over
Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, isn't that what's happening?
Yeah.
Just do this. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a, just do that. A little flick. You don't have time to go up too high, do you? You don't have time to come up too high. It's a little flick, isn't it? You're feeling it? Okay, now go ahead. Now that playing the triplets would be 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and a, now you have more time. Just play with one hand. So if you're really trying to maintain the bottom of the bead, which has been kind of, seems to be, have been your focus this week, which is cool. That'll force you to come up at a certain, at a certain time and in a certain way so that you can get the bottom of the bead. If you don't lead with the wrist, as Richard Wilson would say, you can't get the bottom of the bead. You'll end up getting the tip. So, so you're locked in. The parameters based on this technique that has to do with getting the bottom of the bead and leading with your wrist will promote a certain timing. Now, the other thing that will promote a certain timing, if you have to start by getting the bottom of the bead, right, and leading with your wrist, which is the only way you can get the bottom of the bead, is one aspect, is half of the parameters dictated by requiring that we get the bottom of the bead leading with the wrist. The other is that we stop at the floor, which you're not always doing. So you're missing part of it. Got to come back to the floor. That'll promote the right timing. Try it again. Just the one hand, yeah. See, you're stopping about here. You're stopping somewhere right around here. You're not really at the floor. It might, it might seem like, well, so what? Okay, but see, this lack of efficiency, this much lack of efficiency is manifested with being limited to not being able to go past 90, right? This much difference can get you to 120, perhaps. Okay, so that's why this technique is all about efficiency. And remember, the Richard Martinez thing, efficiency is relaxation, or the other way around, relaxation is efficiency. Okay, try it again. Stop, stop. Look where you're stopping. Look. You're stopping like this. I'm doing it in my left hand, which is cool because I don't really play this. I did in that video, by the way, the video I sent you last night.
Yes.
I was thinking, for some reason, I should be playing. I should be playing more matched, and that it helps my students as well. They can check it out and have this other image because so many of them are in matched. Okay, so here's what you did. You stopped and brought it down.
I don't know if you know what, Kevin, I think my what you're seeing on the screen is faltering a little bit because let me see, let me check something right now.
That's where you end up. Oh, you didn't end up there on your very first strike. Just make a downstroke. Nope. No, look, you're stopping up by your second button on your shirt. Yeah, almost up to there. Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see. Let me take a look.
Oh, right there. You'll see it back in the video. Okay, so here let me keep going. Here's. I guess there are different ways we can stop up in the air. Let's see. So if I go squeezing with my back here, just hold the stick like this. Copy, follow along here. Now squeeze with your back fingers. Squeeze with your back fingers. Come on, give it a good squeeze. Yep, see? See what happens? What? Isn't that what happens? So maybe you're squeezing with your back fingers?
I wasn't.
You don't know if you are. Joe, you're not far enough along in the technique to really be sure.
No, but Kevin, I know for certain that my ring and little finger are not even on the stick. How could I be squeezing with them?
Well, and so as I said, there may be more than one way to stop up in the air. So and maybe it's not that because I'm not there looking at your hand from a side view. However, here would be another way to stop up in the air. If the stick is stopping up here, the stick is stopping here. So it means that we're doing something, or you're doing something. What? Maybe instead of this, maybe you're doing this. Because you think you need to play another note right away. There you go. It's got to stop dead. It doesn't move. Watch. Once you land, it stops. It just stops. See? And there's your little, call it a flick. Up. Come on. There. That's where it needs to stop. Now, if you're moving from here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that might be happening. I'm feeling a squeeze and a release. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, and it's tiny, and it's happening as the hand closes. It happens as the hand closes. See? See, it does this. Watch. See? There's a little. See? There's a little opening and closing. Don't exaggerate it. Okay, try it again. Now you switched over to your right hand, so you decide what hand is going to do the experimenting, and it will teach the other hand. Now you're back to your left, which is where we started. Up, down. Up, Come on, stop that bead low. It's not stopping as low as it should be. It's not really, that's where it has to stop every time. Okay, so just for the sake of development, slow the metronome down to 80. So you're not really, it's close, but you're not really stopping the beat down. Slow the metronome down to 60. Don't rush. That's a good one. Come on, stop the beat right at the floor. Where's the floor? Doesn't come down after. That was a good one. There you go. Up, no, no, no. You almost. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to play it. You're going to play it 4 times. On the last one, you're going to stop.
Okay. No, you'd stop on the accent. Watch. Oh.
Go ahead and do it again. You know what I'm talking about. That's where it has to stop. That'd be a good exercise for you. So just with one hand, right, from 60 up to 90, and then you'll work on that in both left and right. That's where you need to stop. And then what you want to do is you want to practice both iterations. Right? You can do it with one hand, right? Because the 6/8 thing is this. See how it stops down? Look, watch. And then the other iteration is let's see. Yeah, now this is a faster up to down. But look, Joe, see how the beat stops down? Look how close I am to the surface. And if I go faster, it shouldn't change. Now here's the 6/8 thing. It has to stop down. It has to stop down, and you have to be on the bottom of the beat on the way up, and then that will tell you your timing. If you falter in terms of the timing of the up or the timing of the down, it will result in a breakdown with regards to the goal you are looking to achieve, which is bottom of the bead, the floor. So now you need to add the floor to your thinking. And by the way, see, the bottom of the bead really does promote the floor. You look a lot more, your playing is more flat. You notice? See how flat everything is? See how flat that is? See how flat I am? See, you want to be down here. Down here. The floor. The floor. Bottom of the bead, the floor. Okay, good. Okay, so we'll continue working on that. Now let's pull out stick control.
What about the 4-stroke Ruff, Kevin?
Now, easy to, I know it's exciting, right? Because one thing moves to the next.
Are we going to get to the 4-stroke Ruff?
If you're nice, maybe we'll get to the 4-stroke Ruff. Let's see. Yeah, but remember, it was a couple lessons ago. You were all excited about page 6 of stick control.
Yeah.
I don't want you to lose the enthusiasm for stick control. We need to keep moving on it. But we couldn't last week because you got hung up on rebounds, right? Which is, trust me, it takes a minute, right? So that we're not turning our wrist for every note, that we're turning once and getting as many rebounds as we desire or as requested by written note or written exercise or music. So if we're looking at exercise number 25 on page 6, do you have that in front of you? Now let's try it, and if it works, so we can keep going. If it doesn't work, then we're going to have to do what we did last week, is back up a little bit, break it down, and discuss technique and what it is that is and isn't working. So 72, right?
Yeah.
Keep going, keep going. Okay, so, okay, Joe, I'm not convinced you're really getting 2 rebounds. We're really looking for this. Go ahead. I wonder sometimes that you want to twist this way. Just something I think I used to do. I don't think so. You just look. It's just turning and following through at the surface. Okay. So if you only want, I'm returning what here. Let's see. Returning about that high. See? Returning this high. See, just one turn. Right. Okay, there's even slower. let's see. Oops. Just one turn. Turn once for 2 notes. Go ahead and slow the metronome down to, so it might be a little slow, but try it at 60. Let's see what happens. Okay, now do me a favor and play it on the wrist on purpose.
Okay.
Isn't that kind of what you're already doing? A little bit, right? That kind of feels similar to what you were doing when you thought you were playing rebounds.
Now this is rebound here, or what I think is rebound.
Okay. See, what I don't want to see, no. What I don't want to see is the knuckle turning twice. Watch. You would say when you're turning your wrist, you'll see the knuckles turning down. So we only want them to turn down once. Okay, it's better. Let's go back for a second. Let's go back to the exercise I had you working on. So here we're at 60, right? Let's see if this works. No. It's this speed. Look how slow it is. Turn. See, you'll see that the timing, I think, the timing is such that if you were to just analyze the movement of my thumb up and down, let's see how I could do this. Let's see. This will block it. No, that won't block it. So what was I doing? Oh yeah. Just watch for a sec. See, watch the thumb. How can you do that? How could I do that? Let's see. See, turn, see, turn, see my thumbnail? Turn, okay. Turn. Now watch. Now I'm going to go to rest. One or two. So we could play doubles that way, couldn't we? Here's rest. Here's rebound. Wrist. Rebound. Wrist. Rebound. Wrist. Rebound. Wrist. Up. Rebound. See the rebound helps see. Here's half the speed twice. Half the speed, twice the effort. Not. It's twice the speed, half the effort. See, all you're really doing. No, not even time. I'm way over this. So all I'm really doing is this. Okay, I'm just doing this. But it feels like this. See my little flick? You can see it from a different angle. See, I'm turning once, letting the stick rock over the fulcrum. The fulcrum is somewhere in between the three fingers, right? I'm thinking of the fulcrum being right here. See, this is where, okay, so you've been thinking about bottom of the bead, right? Now you're thinking about more about the floor. Now we're going to also have you really focus on focus. So you've got a triumvirate of considerations this week. I feel the fulcrum right in front of the middle finger, right somewhere right in here. And it's rocking through this channel, and it rocks somewhere maybe in between all three. It's the Carlos Vega concept of the fulcrum somewhere in between the three fingers. I'm thinking of when that stick lands and gets to the surface, I feel it right in front of the middle finger, and I can feel it rocking through the three finger narrow fulcrum. You can feel it moving. You can imagine the thumb being the fulcrum, because right, if the stick is rocking thusly.
Yeah.
If the stick is rocking thusly, you can imagine it's somewhere right in between the three finger grip, and so you can also feel it rocking around the flat of the thumb. So, but I'm thinking primarily of the moment of impact being just in front of the middle finger. I can feel it rocking through that area, rocking through that, around the flat of the thumb. Go ahead and just let the stick rebound multiple times and experience that. Feel it there? Can you actually feel it there? Uh-huh. You have to focus right on that front of the middle finger.
Yeah,
Can you feel it rocking around the thumb?
Yep.
Good. See, and look how much better your grip looks these days. Remember when you first came in with that,
I know.
the plus sign thing? I can't even do it, the plus sign. Okay, see, there are just two of those. Just two of those. One turn. Two. Right. Yeah, so maybe that's a cool exercise. If we just did this, we just went tap, 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 tap. See, we're not even putting them together yet. Tap, 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 tap. Put your metronome at 48. Right? We're really dialing in on this because I don't think you were considering the fulcrum very much, if at all. Right? Which, believe me, I get. That's why we're here together. That's why I'm here to keep you on track. No, wait. Hold on. But we're kind of duplicating stick control and the height of turn that is typical when we're playing stick control. We're somewhere in here, right? For now. Okay, so ah. Just play singles with me for a sec. Play singles. Something isn't quite right. Do you feel the stick against your palm all the way up and down? Tell me what you feel.
This stick does move away a little bit.
When?
Well, I think more upon impact when the bead comes into contact with the playing surface.
Because you see, if your singles aren't, if a single wrist turn isn't right, then how the heck are you going to get a single wrist turn to play multiple rebounds, right? So. It almost wants to come away as I get to the top.
Yeah, that I'm feeling now.
Just see, it looks a little more relaxed now. I don't want you squeezing that stick as you go up and down, so that the stick has there's no play. Yeah, you don't have to be all that tight. Where do you feel the impact when you land? Are you thinking about that?
Yeah.
Are you?
That part of the bead and the crack of the middle finger, that middle finger fulcrum.
There you go. It's a little more relaxed now, and you don't need to shove it down. You can, for me here, it almost feels like gravity, or I'm just following it down, lifting it up and following it down, and I feel the energy move back towards that middle finger. Now play two notes and do that. Okay, so see, that's better. Okay, so we'll give you that exercise, nice and slow. Let's see, so I had you at 48. Let's just see what happens if I speed it up. What happens at like 70? What would happen at 72? Would that exercise become moot? What? So we're at this speed now, right? This was the exercise. Yeah, good. Put the metronome at 72. Work there. Good. Because that's really our goal. That's our target tempo. Don't be tight on your singles. Okay, good. Now let's just take a quick look. Better. Let's take a quick look at, we'll continue. 72, now we're at 26. And by the way, Dick Wilson kind of let me go through stick control, and I'm quite sure that at that time I really wasn't turning once and letting the stick rebound. I'm sure, but he just wanted me to go through it. He'd make little corrections as I went along. I'm approaching it in a little bit of a different way, where I'm kind of taking instead of going through the whole thing, and then he said, okay, now we're gonna go and do stick control again, and start it all over again. Now maybe I can get it right. Right. So we want to keep moving through it so you become familiar with it. I don't want to turn it into some kind of mosaic where we tear it apart and we don't keep moving. And yet I want you to take the time to really get the bits and pieces of this thing, right? So let's keep going. Now we're at 26, 72. let's take a quick look at that.
So I'm assuming that the accent's going to fall on the end of B2.
The only exercise that Dick Wilson put accents on was number 25. Nothing else is accented.
So this one, so in other words, 26 is not going to be played like this.
Right. You're just turning, no throwing.
So you're not going to throw for that. Okay. So it's just, okay. So let me get one thing straight here, Kevin. So, because I remember when we did, say, the paradiddles, you had me throw for that. When I did the paradiddle with the diddle on top, and the diddle in the middle, and the diddle on the first and fourth beat.
You're turning your wrist twice, by the way.
Yeah,
just so you know. Okay. Just okay. So, Joe.
Even with three in one hand, I remember you were telling me. So I thought that was going to carry over onto this page.
Okay. Well, kind of and kind of not.
Okay. That's all I want to clarify.
That's kind of question that would come from someone who teaches themselves. So cool. No, typically now when you're intermingling paradiddles and he's just combining doubles and singles and sometimes three notes, we're not going to be raising for every thought. Every time we go, he just did that with the paradiddles to show you, to kind of give you the first glimpse into how to actually play a paradiddle, which is in Murray's library, which we're not up to yet. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so, and those were dots, they were stenotos.
Yes.
For the paradiddles on the previous page. Page 5, right? And so page 6, the first exercise, they're not stenotos, they're actually accents. So it's going to be a louder note.
Okay, yeah.
And actually make an accent. Now for 26, we're not going to be raising. However, one will get there. Just go on, keep going.
So you want me to play 26 for you now?
72, and then so I'm just going to essentially what I'm doing right now is you jumped ahead of me with your question, but I was going to take you through this to help you understand exactly what you asked. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to, and I would suggest maybe turning just a little higher. We're kind of in, right, we were in here, right? Somewhere in there. You don't have to slam, you don't have to watch how easy it, watch how soft it sounds.
Yeah.
Watch how soft it sounds. Listen. Look how relaxed it is.
Yeah.
Nice and relaxed. Okay. We're just going to bring all of today's discussion into your working on page 6, 25 through 36. Now, what are you going to do when we get to, for instance,
27, let's see.
I've got the chicken in my head. Sorry, hold on. Maybe we'll play that tonight. Let's see. Where is it? Here somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's here. Oh yeah, here we go. Number 32. Let me see you play that.
Okay, because that's a good one because we have those multiple right hand strokes and multiple.
And now you are going to raise, but you're not going to be playing an accent. You're not even really playing a stenoto. You're just raising to gain momentum.
Yeah, well, that's
through the rebounds. Okay,
yeah.
So let me hear that.
Oh, sorry.
See, I think what you're doing, I think you're throwing your fingers open and going ya da da da, ya da da da. Look, yeah, see, look how open your fingers are when you land. Go ahead and throw for 4 on your right. Just do what you were doing. Don't change it now.
Okay.
Be true to the original Joe. And then if we, yeah, but wait, just throw for 4 in the right. Just in the right, Joe.
Okay.
Stay with me because I got to get going. You know, I really do. So I want to get this across before we part ways. Okay, so just throw for 4 in the right.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're going. Yeah, you see, you don't have to throw your fingers open. I'm not doing this. I'm just doing this. If you didn't throw it all. See? This pad, by the way, I don't use it really. Lovely as it is in terms of its sound chamber, it's the rubber has become so degraded that there's not much of a rebound. But let's see. Watch. Do you see me throwing my hand open? Watch. Here, I'm just turning for it. Don't play for a sec. Really just meditate on this. See? I'm not going. I don't need to. And if I throw, watch. I also don't throw. I don't go. Or should I think what you were doing? Adding a little pressure and right? So it's it's okay, just or okay, it's just rebounding. I don't have to throw my fingers open. Try more time. In fact, just do this. Just play 4 notes now. Just remind yourself, what does this feel like? Yeah, you don't have to throw your fingers open. You don't have to throw them open at all. See, the hand will do whatever it does on its own. I'm not ever, I will, yeah, resist the urge to throw your fingers open, because the only reason you would throw your fingers open is if you were going to play with fingers so that you could squeeze them.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'll ruin it. There. Yeah, you see? Now make a little throw and do that. There, much better. See, your hand isn't flying open now.
Right.
Just hold the stick, focus on the fulcrum. Front of the middle finger, rocking around the thumb, somewhere in between the 3-finger narrow fulcrum, 3-finger grip, which creates a narrow fulcrum. Better, okay? That's the lesson.
Wow.
And good, man. Yeah, it is. It's coming along. You got Mitch Peters going pretty fast. See, you were able to get rebounds out, but I knew that it wasn't completely real.
Yeah.
That speed, it bounces, and now you're just turning once, and you're getting 2 notes.
It's challenging.
As soon as you slow it down and we really analyze what's going on, you realize, he's turning twice, which means you're not really feeling it as you go faster. It's happening almost by accident, which is cool, right? Which is why you're very fast. I mean, you're going to be ridiculous, especially when you get this. You're going to be, see, you're fast, but you're not always relaxed.
That's right.
And there's confusion in your speed.
Yeah.
Right? Right? But we're going to eliminate that confusion and create a speed that is relaxed. Therefore, your playing will be efficient.
That's right. That's right.
Turning off the camera.